episode of our Binge IG Live series. This is Adam Drexler, professional basketball player, part-time musician, and also the son of NBA legend Clyde Drexler. Thank you for joining us today, Adam.
Oh yeah, happy to be here. Thanks for having me, man. I've always played music, played the drums, guitar, piano. I learned a whole bunch of instruments, and just it's something that helps me relax. I just love to create in any way I can, and music is a great avenue for that.
For sure. For those who do not know, we went to Adam and I definitely went to Lamar High School together.
Yeah.
And we saw the journey from the musician to the basketball player. In basketball class, he would be bringing his guitar, having a good time with it, joking around. And, around his 10th grade year, he started to take basketball very seriously. So, Adam, just tell everybody about your transition from that to becoming a full-time basketball player.
Well, like you saw, I never really imagined myself as a basketball player. I know my dad is Hall of Famer, but I grew up in a household where we were allowed to nurture our own talents and find our own path. So it wasn't until actually my great friend Jarvis Kraft actually kind of encouraged me to play basketball. I think I just hit 6'3" in high school.
Yeah. And
then my friend Jarvis came up to me and said, you should consider playing basketball for real, Drex. We need you out there. So I tried it, and I actually went to my dad, and he said, if you're serious about this, I'm serious about this too.
Growing up in Portland, growing up in Houston, what was your childhood like as a son of an NBA player?
For me, a lot of people think it's some kind of magical experience. To me, I grew up knowing him as dad.
Mm-hmm.
It actually didn't dawn on me that he was a Hall of Famer or a legend until high school. And for me, he's just dad. It's corny sometimes, but he's a great guy, and I definitely learned a lot from him. He's such a stickler for detail. So if you say you want to do something, he's going to push you to the limit in terms of doing it. So my brother he makes video games. So my dad was like, well, you got to push you to the limit. You got to you'd be the best in that regard. My sister is trying to be a director. She's in LA right now. So he wants to be the best director she can be. But with basketball, it's like he has an innate ability to slow down every process and get it down to the smallest detail and perfect it. So if he sees anything slightly wrong, he won't stay quiet about it. He'll definitely tell you. And I appreciate that honesty. As a pro, you want to get better. And look at how my father played and how Jordan played. They're different styles. Jordan is an offensive-minded, just straight up, I'm going to score. I want the ball in my hands to score. My dad was facilitating, and basically once they got past half court, the ball is in his hands to make plays for other people on his team. And if you want, further proof of that, look at the numbers of all of his teammates after he left Portland. Look at the numbers of their career, and you can see that he made those guys a lot better. And they're great players in their own, but
of course,
he definitely had an impact on that.
Yeah, I feel like your father, his what he accomplished. A lot of people tend to forget about that because nowadays a lot of guys on the perimeter are putting up big numbers, and it's kind of like it glosses over. Sometimes it glosses over to a degree what the players from the past have achieved. So I think it was definitely important that your dad was featured in that episode, because now people get to see that, Clyde Drexler was a serious problem. Your dad obviously played in the 1990 finals. Then after Portland, he helped Houston win another championship. So it's not like and your dad was named one of the 50th greatest players of all times. So, being in Houston and having that last name, like, I know you wear it with a great sense of honor and pride for sure.
Yeah. People forget that back then you could have two hands on people. Hands was the thing. So when Bird, Magic, Dr. J, and those guys played, those guys were great. They were the reason why people aren't doing.
For sure. So, your love for music and your love for basketball has, learning about each profession. What are the details that you kind of use for each? For like basketball, what do you use for music, and what do you use for basketball? Like, how do you correlate them in terms of like being detailed and what I mean, things of that nature?
So for me, music is a part of life. If you're tapping your foot, sitting down, you're making music. It's a beat, it's a rhythm, it's a feeling. So music to me has always been something that I can just go to whenever. I was in Japan and was still making music. I had on my iPad. It's something you can take with you. It doesn't go away, and it's just fun to create something that resonates with you. So for me, I've never really been much for promoting my music. Really, I've never really done anything other than make it for myself. Of course, I have one of my best friends is actually a DJ, and sometimes me and him will get in the recording studio and just have fun, make creations. But
yeah,
it's just fun to do that. But also, basketball to me is something that's very real right now. So I want to pursue it as long as I can, because you only have so many good ball. And it was funny because when I was actually there, they invited me up, they flew me out. And the first 2 days, we're doing scrimmages and stuff like that. And no one really questioned who I was. No one really knew. And when you go to their practice facility, it's really nice. On the left wall is a giant mural of Clyde Drexler. So after every we play these scrimmage games, and after every game, they keep a list of the players that won games, and that's the only stat they took. Like, did you win, and how many games did you win? So I sit at the top of that list, and eventually one of the coaches comes over, and he's looking at the list. He's like, "Drexler, you related to Clyde?" I was like, "Yes." So it's funny that, I'm sitting there on Drexler Drive. You guys don't really know. But it was an amazing experience, and I definitely...
From basketball for you has been building relationships, friendships?
Definitely. I know I'm going to be friends with these people for the rest of my life. And, every day I'll get messages from fans in Japan and Tijuana, and it's just amazing. Like, it can bring a tear sometimes, the way that you would never think that you had a lasting impact on someone's life like that. I had a kid make a drawing of me. He sent it to me. It was insane. You never think that, oh my gosh, I left an impact on this kid. And it was a team I played for 2 years ago. And they're still, sending love your way. So that's just an amazing feeling. And of course, the relationships you make with basketball and in life in general, those are precious, and you want to definitely hold on to those.